Hello, it's Michael Tellinger, and I'm with my good friend Alosha Leinhoff, who's come all the way from Johannesburg to visit me here at the Stone Circle, Ubuntu village and the head office. And we've come into the mountains, to the ruins, the stone circles, to see and observe and ground and connect with the ancient ruins, and also to talk about
how we're going to integrate organic design and permaculture and cosmic geometries into the new one small town movement.
Yeah, so just to give you a quick background about Alosha, and I highly recommend you go online and watch his videos to do with permaculture, with water capturing, with turning your garden into a beautiful, productive ecosystem that is self-sustainable, and brown water and grey water and everything, all that kind of stuff. Plus also he's a master designer and inventor of note, and you'll see some of the work that he's done. I've known Alosha for about 10 years now, and I've just always marveled at the spectacular designs. That's how I first got to know him, was through his design work, and how he has evolved and just become a real expert in the field of survival and
survival.
Survival, yes. So yeah, and also at this stage it looks like Alosha is going to join us here in Waterfallboven at the Ubuntu head office and the Stone Circle head office, and really start turning it into a vibrant, or help me turn it into a vibrant home base for the Ubuntu movement around the world.
And a sample of what Michael and myself have been preaching about, of these new ways of building, using and utilizing waste in building, and utilizing waste in irrigation and food forest, all these great things that we've been talking for the last 10 years. We want to actually create a living sample of it so people can experience it for themselves.
And it's obviously, we'd like to have this at the Ubuntu head office, so when people come visit us, we have a beautiful environment for them to come stay in and visit us and interact. And this is why many people are aware of it, that we're building the Ubuntu Retreat Center, the Ubuntu Conference Center, and the Ubuntu Academy at our premises here by the Elands River in Waterfallboven. And Alosha's input and his take on all these beautiful sacred geometric ways of building, the most incredible building styles that you'll see in images. I trust you're going to insert some of the imagery,
yes, definitely,
into this video that we intend to bring here, that he will bring, teach us and do workshops and training on new different style of building that is completely harmonious and green kind of building. I'm really looking forward to it. It's a whole new chapter and a new door that we're opening in Stone Circle Ubuntu's history, because we're growing so quickly now and expanding so quickly around the world, that this is the time where we need the right-minded people with the right skills and expertise to come and join us here and start growing and building the foundation ever stronger. So where do we take it from here?
Well, I'd like to do this video particularly on what's your take. So I've got your model about one small town movement. That's fantastic. My missing piece was, I see these decapitated old towns that are also square and linear. How do we bring this organic architecture and permaculture into this town? Because I don't want to be gridded up by the grids of the roads and the square houses. No. And what Michael was explaining last night, that as the town grows, that's where the geometric town planning and permaculture can proceed. And what we came with last night was the people staying in the townships, in the shacks, in these decapitated tin houses. They will love to move into the older town, but the new town will be built with roads following contour lines. So the roads become the water harvesting earthworks, channeling water to the dams, and of course the food forests. So I'd just like you to elaborate a little bit on that.
Yeah, so obviously there's a process. You know, the moment we initiate the one small town plan of action, a whole bunch of stuff's going to start happening. Obviously it's not going to happen overnight, but one of the things that's going to happen is to bring in out of the box thinkers, town planners, and town engineers and people that are in touch with sacred geometry and the natural flow of energy, and bring those experts in to start redesigning the existing town, to break the grid structure, the matrix and that energetic trap that our city blocks and the whole living environment is being constructed. It's pretty much a trap for us.
So what you're saying is we don't need to decapitate all the old roads and walkways. It's about maybe placing the right stones at the right places to welcome the energies of ancestors and the earth. Geomancy and real recognition and comprehension of how to fix the broken energies. And they are incredible people. Ibrahim Karim's work is spectacular in that field, and many of his students and other people like him that we possibly don't even know about. They are masters of rehabilitating the energetic flow and fixing the energetic flow, restoring it so you open up the flow in our towns. So part of the process of creating new industry, and when I say industry I mean eco-friendly and new technology and new ways of growing food and new ways of building houses, and everything that we do in this one small town is going to be biodegradable, organic, eco-friendly, natural
organic
materials,
because that's how we start building things.
So that's the blueprint that drives behind the one small town movement. It's a set blueprint.
So I've been saying now for the last at least 1 year, closer to 2 years now, that the one small town model is a solution for all the problems we face as the human race, because it opens up the doors to all the experts and the people with the best knowledge to bring their knowledge and their expertise to the one small town model and plug it in so that we can utilize it for the greater benefit of everyone in the town, first of all, obviously, because that's how it works, but also so that whatever we build now, the new foundations that we're building and fixing the old structures and the old foundations will never have to be fixed again.
Great. So what just to recap, what you're saying is we fixed the old town by bringing in the correct earthworks, by bringing in geomancy to get the good energy flow, by planting in fruit trees on the sidewalks and pavements, so really regreening the deserts. And then the new town movement will be designed using contour-line earthworks, food forests, the roads that harvest water, the dams and ponds in between, and a whole holistic new way of structures, and more dome structures, more organic structures that follow our shapes and liquidity of nature.
Absolutely. If you look at ancient civilizations, and if you look at the stone circles, actually we're right in the heart of ancient civilizations right here. We're standing right in the middle of it.
In Mpumalanga,
the oldest civilization on earth that we know, that left behind the largest cluster of ancient ruins. We're right in the middle of it as we're speaking. So we just found a new ruin right up there behind us on the edge of that hill, because they chopped down the forest here, the plantation recently. So suddenly you could see all the other ruins that were lying hidden by the man-made plantation here for Sappi, the paper company. So you'll see at ancient civilizations, they never built square things. Everything was round. And for those that have watched my workshops and presentations, you'll see that in fact the way they built their structures were based on the cymatic patterns that come out of the earth. Right, so the energy fields that come out of the earth was what
in harmony with
how they built the stone circles. So it may be that we try some of this kind of architecture in our new small towns, one small town strategy, to see how we can find the energy coming out of the earth and actually build our homes and our structures according to the flow of those energies.
So we're talking about temple homes, harmonious environments that heal people. That's what we'll be building. And Michael, just a quick question. So I wasn't in resonance with one small town until where I come from is I'm more merging on Anastasia movement of 1 hectare kindermains and the Venus project Jacques Fresco of building new cities. But what Michael is saying is we do not need to go and create new cities from scratch, because we have thousands and thousands of decapitated towns that can be refired up with Michael's model of the one small town movement. And I got it last night, because if everybody in the town puts in 3 hours a week, we calculated something like it's 15,000 hours, and for 20 or 30 industries that's in the town, that's a lot of working manpower.
Well, just if you have, and remember, our model of a one small town that we're promoting around the world is based on towns between 5 and 10,000 inhabitants. So if you take a town of 5,000 people and everybody gives us 3 hours a week towards the projects and the new initiatives that we're starting, that's 15,000 hours a week. You need a lot of projects to put 15,000 hours of labor to work. So you can just, if you just think of it like that, that means we're going to have a town that's going to be a vibrant place, from arts and culture and recreation to tourism to new industry, from the growing food, just the growing of the food and the different aspects of the food, the harvesting of the food, the packaging, the preparing, the preserving of the foods, of the jams and all those kinds of things. The food growing itself is a huge
massive industry.
That'll probably create, 40 or 50 or 100 little businesses or projects for the community that'll keep a lot of people busy.
Yeah. So my one question was, well, 3 hours just sounds like a very little time, but the way that Michael explained, and we actually brainstormed it together, what I got was, right now the scenario is you have 5-10% of the town grafting 12-hour days, and a lot of, and in South Africa in particular, and the rest are unemployed. With Michael's model, we balance that out. We get everybody involved at 3 hours, so it kind of works out as everybody, as what currently people are doing with 12 hours a day. But now it's everybody does 3 hours, and everybody else has time to do other great things with there and get creative and play a flute and do things they've always dreamt of but they never had time for.
So the other benefits, and I want to bring it back to your expertise, because the reason you're going to join us here is because we're going to create an example of
what works,
harvesting natural water, rainwater, the grey and the brown water and all that, and showing how that can be recycled and utilized and reused to beautify your immediate environment, which is really what I've been talking about the one small town.
Because the water is the start. Without water we actually got no gain.
It's the energy, the electricity. Right now we call energy electricity. At some stage the electricity will probably change into a different form of energy, but that's probably further down the road. So let's talk about electricity for now. Once we have our source of electricity, we can pretty much do everything and anything we choose, and this is why the foundation of electricity is so important to launch the one small town. Without our own source of electricity, we are forever enslaved and stuck in the matrix and held captive by the suppliers to the energy grid and those that have claimed the right to provide us with electricity.
And that's why a majority of the people can't get off the grid, because first it's very expensive, and if you stop paying your bills, then they can't cut your water. They're not allowed to, but they can cut your electricity. So electricity is a biggie.
It's a big thing, and we're going to change that very quickly, as you may know already. We have an international partner in electricity and energy, also water, and also creating health benefits to all this activity. So when we say we're going to go into a town and provide our own electricity, I can now say it with absolute confidence, because of our partner, that will become known to the people and the mayors and the councils and the people of the town once they've agreed to implement the small town project. Now, for example, Mayor Ron Higgins in Canada is already talking to our energy partners in Canada to see how we're going to implement that electricity for the whole town and the whole community and the entire area. It is advanced technology that very few people have seen. It is technology that most people don't even understand. The benefits are spectacular. The benefits are purifying of water, removing hazardous waste, and I'm talking about pretty much any kind of hazardous waste you can imagine.
Radioactive?
Toxic, including radioactive, hazardous waste of any kind.
Wow.
All the horrible stuff that comes out of hospitals, the syringes, the drugs that are not used, that are expired. What do we do with those? We can't just flush them down the toilet or put them in the water system or bury them in the ground.
Your electricity machine basically can handle that as well.
So when we start at One Small Town, we provide a solution for electricity, for treating our water, the sewage, and all the hazardous waste at the same time. It is a spectacular solution that we bring to the small town.
But the water can be obviously polished up with a few constructed wetlands. It will only do it good.
Not only that, so not only will we help purify the water and make it incredibly energized and structured water that makes things grow and actually heals your body at the same time. We've got spectacular...
So we're talking about implosion, vortexing, that type of thing.
We're talking that kind of technology.
Okay, great, great.
But at the same time, you're right. So that water, now that we're going to be treating our water, we can then push it back into all the ways that we're going to re-engineer and landscape our towns and our environment, which is where your expertise comes in. So I can't wait for you to wind up your stuff in Johannesburg and move out here into the mountains. You know, can't get a better place than this. Or you have to go a long way to find a better place than this. Right in the mountains, in the heart of the ancient civilizations. We literally drive out of our front door or we walk out of our front door and we're right there. We're in the ruins.
Fantastic.
You know, when we were digging the foundations for some of the buildings at Stone Circle Ubuntu head office, we find ancient ruins and tools and artifacts right there.
Wow.
On our own place. So it's the Stone Circle head office and the Ubuntu head office is actually built on ancient civilizations and ancient ruins.
That's fantastic.
But when you just leave out, we drive out, we're literally 5 minutes away from our office in the mountains, out of our little town, right here. There are thousands and thousands of ruins around us everywhere here.
So the energy is already here and phenomenal. So we're calling upon any wizards that want to get involved in awesome projects.
Yes.
We'll be posting a link to a form below, and if you're interested to help in any way for the movement, whether you have permaculture or natural building, or you want to learn some stuff, or you can project manage some stuff, we're looking for great wizards that we can co-create this movement together on a global scale.
Yeah.
Would you like to say something a little bit about that?
Yeah, exactly. But also one of the things that we intend to do very soon, even this year still, towards the end of the year, probably around November, December, is to initiate a bunch of projects, a bunch of workshops, should I say. Actually,
we're going to start with one workshop. It's a 7-in-1 workshop where you're going to learn California earth sandbag structures, biochar filtration, bubble geometry from Dome Gaia. It's all the workshops that I've attended all over the world. Grey water construction, food forest, and grow biointensive. We're going to be running 1 month workshop here to get the land at Ubuntu headquarters kick-started, fired up, and you're going to learn 7 different eco techniques practically hands-on with us at these headquarters coming up this December.
Yeah, so this is really what we're planning, and just been brainstorming a little bit, and I just get really charged up and inspired by Alosha's work, and you will see some of his designs and his absolute genius when we start doing our Ubuntu events, especially the Ubuntu Fest here in South Africa in Badplaas from the 12th to the 15th of April 2018, where Alosha's designs and staging, fabric structures. That's really how I got to know him originally 10 years ago. It's just spectacular, and you'll know what I mean. But what he's really blown me away is the way that he's become an expert and a master, and actually he practices what he preaches, even in Johannesburg, in the middle of this concrete jungle and the urban bloody jungle.
Got my house off the water grid without the use of any boreholes, using earthworks, a few sandbag storage containers that mold to a house like hand and glove. We've got 2 robust biochar filter, and it's all low cost, and we're harvesting rain from a thatch roof, believe it or not, storing it in my pool, using my pool as a buffer in winter so it goes down when we need water, and then in summer the pool tops up, and 9 constructed wetlands. And I've created an online abundance of water course. I'll give you the link here, and it's really fantastic that with this course you can get off the grid anywhere on the planet for as little as $1,000 to at least halve your water consumption. So it's a really awesome course, and I'll be implementing these things at Ubuntu headquarters practically.
So we'll wind up this little chat and say I look forward to you joining us here and to start implementing some of these things, and it's going to be an exciting journey. And as Alosha said, our doors are open. Email me at contact@ubuntuplanet.org and tell us that you'd like to join us, or go onto our website and sign up under the volunteer page. and so we can reach out back to you and start bringing like-minded people together here at the Stone Circle Ubuntu head office and turning our environment into a living example of what we're talking about. And it's just a fun time. Actually, it's about getting a bunch of like-minded people together, having a great time together, doing incredible things.
Very dynamic. And we're being the change that we want to see. It's enough talk here. Let's make it happen. Let's create a new reality that we've all been dreaming about.
So we'll see you in Waterfall Boven.
One small town at a time.